Is it ready?
Is the whole time pushing.
Ah, ready.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it is afternoon. It's true. Welcome back to the channel.
Hola amigos.
Same couch, same Manasi. Today we're talking about the big word.
And yes, we are talking about veganism.
You guessed it. Today we wanted to share with you what happened to us after 10 years and
5 years from me.
of veganism.
So, let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Why went you vegan?
What did I do?
Why went you vegan? So, let me ask you one question.
Yes.
Why did you go vegan? What's your story?
Okay. So, long story short.
Could I have this one more time a bit shorter?
Yeah, sure. I went vegan because of my health.
Oh, okay.
I went vegan because of my health. I had a bacteria in my stomach that was.
Are you a bit aggressive today?
Yeah, it is a
Aggressive
bacteria.
vegan. Don't mess around with her.
I went vegan because of my health.
Yes.
I had a bacteria in my stomach, and for 2 months I think I was taking antibiotics to kill it, and that didn't work. So I decided to try something different and went to a naturopath, and he changed all that stuff that I was taking for a different diet.
For carrots.
Yeah, for carrots.
Carrots and spinach. Yeah.
Different diet that eliminated all animal products, and and then instead of antibiotics, he gave me oregano oil, which right now we still use for many things. We love it. But basically, after a month of changing my diet, I really improved and I got hooked into it. How about you, Hadi?
Oh, me? I had a very different approach. I was actually excessively into training, like weightlifting and powerlifting. First powerlifting, and then I switched to weightlifting. And I wanted to recover, I wanted to recover quicker from my workouts, and I saw this one YouTuber. Actually, I think his name was his name is Clarence Kennedy. Super strong weightlifter. I saw videos and he was talking about him being vegan, and I found it really interesting and I wanted to try. And I really recovered faster after I switched my diet. So that was my starting point, and from there I watched documentaries, tried to gather some more information, and then I realized, hey, that's actually something I want to do, not only for my training but also for a lot of other things that benefiting from this nutrition. So we were thinking, if you're not vegan yet and you are considering to try it, also what happens long term to us, for example, after 5 or 10 years, and we thought we'd just share some insights of that. How we feel after 5 and 10 years being vegan.
Of course, you can be very unhealthy in a vegan diet. So the veganism that we are talking about in this video is pretty much a plant-based, whole food-based diet. Yeah, just wanted to clarify.
So also wouldn't be fair to compare such a whole nutrition, like the plant-based one that we want to talk about, with maybe a wholesome, good nutrition as an omnivore, because this would be much closer, but obviously if you're just doing fast food and stuff, that's completely different.
Yeah.
You can do this as vegan and non-vegan. So,
yeah.
What we noticed is that we feel much lighter after the meals. So maybe you know the feeling when you had fatty, oily or heavy meal in general. You feel very sleepy afterwards, you don't want to move, you're just like food coma, just laying around and try to recover from that meal. We don't have that anymore, or at least not to that extent that we had in the past. So most of the times, also has to do something with overeating. If you eat too much, you can come into a similar state, but we feel energetic after eating, and we want to move and do stuff still, and we just don't want to lie on the couch and try to recover from what we ate. Juice break.
The way that we see food and our relationship with food has changed a lot, and especially I think as a girl, probably also guys have this problem, but girls, we are always really obsessed with the way we look and dieting and not getting extra kilos, so bikini body and all this stuff.
I'm
and
still training for my bikini summer, my body this summer, so I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but I feel like for me growing up, you know, like it was a really unhealthy relationship with food, but like you counting what you're eating or like, you know, limiting yourself to no, I can only have a little piece of this, I can't have more of this, I already had a lot of this, and you're a constant, you know, black hole or like in a vices.
Yeah, you limit yourself.
Yeah.
That's why it gets more attractive to.
You want to have what you can't, and it just becomes really unhealthy, toxic relationship with food, I think. And the fact that now I see food as something that makes me feel good, and that I don't have any limits. I literally eat till I'm completely full, and I feel great afterwards. And actually, my body feels great afterwards as well.
And you don't feel guilty.
Yeah, there's no limitations. We don't see the way we eat as a diet. Like I diet for 2 weeks and then I'm fine. It's just our way of living, it's our lifestyle. You know, it's not. I know it's a vegan diet, but actually the word diet is not really appropriate for the thing. It's just
Nutrition.
a lifestyle. Yeah.
Better to gradually develop nice habits that
Yeah.
you can sustain and maybe just treat you here and there. And even the stuff that we saw as treats change. We don't crave fatty or very sweet food anymore. Like white sugar, I can't. It's like I don't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah.
And thing is just the time that you have to put in and to change your mind and also your habits.
Yeah.
So next point, faster recovery after exercise. That was very important for me, as I mentioned before. Just on a quick note, so your body basically can be a bit more acidic or a bit more alkaline. And what I found out that foods like meat or dairy products make your body in general more acidic. And when you train and you train too much, this can also happen. You accumulate even more acidity in the body, and then your body needs more time to get rid of all that. So when you eliminate already the acidity from your nutrition, it's much easier for your body to stay and be alkaline, so you recover faster. So that was one of the main reasons why I went vegan in the first place. But yeah, this is definitely also a point that I could see as a change for me, or change for me. Yeah.
Also for me, the body consciousness or like the connection between how I felt after a meal was a big thing. Because, you know, when I was younger, I knew, for example, that I didn't feel great after eating fried food, but I still ate it, you know what I mean? Like, it was just there, you go out and stuff, and you're like, yeah, whatever. But once you realize, actually, you put in your mind, I don't feel good after eating this, so I don't want to eat it anymore. And you start making more connections because you really think, it's not worth for me to feel that way just for that 2-minute thing on my mouth, you know, like a chip or whatever. And then you start adapting your diet, really being mindful and you know, just accepting that this doesn't work well in my body, so I don't want to eat it. Just being more connected with how your body is reacting to things in the long term, you really stop craving those things. Yeah.
Change in appetite is also something that I could nice solo. Change in appetite is also something that happened to us.
Yeah.
And that also changed. Like my appetite went down, and as you just said, it's the stuff you crave changes.
Yeah.
So that's definitely it. You also taste different.
Yeah, totally.
After a while, and that's why you want to eat different things or want to avoid different things, and it's something that happened to us.
Misconceptions about veganism. I think we've heard them all.
Isn't that expensive? How about your protein, mate?
Yeah, do you get enough protein?
Yeah. How about your vitamins?
Yeah.
Like vitamin B12?
Deficient.
How do you even survive? Aren't you always hungry?
So many.
You must feel so weak being vegan.
We've had them all. I mean, of course, as everything, you can go as fancy as you want, and you can go as cheap as you want.
Talking about price now? Yeah.
In any diet, you should still obviously buy legumes and grains and vegetables and fruit. But on top of that, you buy your meat and eggs and cheese, and I feel that is even more expensive than tofu and tempeh. And of course, you know, you can go super fancy and buy the most expensive coconut yogurt and cacao nibs in a golden jar and then you spend more money, but the essentials are just normal and they're not expensive.
So a can of lentils, for example, costs under €1, and vegetables and like rice or noodles and stuff, like basic things that you might eat. They're not so expensive, and you just change things.
You know, it's your choice, I guess.
But this can be with any type of nutrition.
But you can't blame it on veganism.
No.
It's not more expensive.
We don't take it.
And how about, I think this is even more for the men.
For the men.
What happens with your protein levels?
With your protein levels.
Where is your muscle?
They all went away. But also I stopped training, so it's a pity. Yoga. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yoga. Yeah, protein. So this sounds a bit scary if you think of getting meat out and eggs and dairy. Did I say dairy? No. Those three things, because they are nice or like a good source of protein. But again, you just have to change your habits. For example, oats, they have quite good amount of protein. Quinoa, lentils, spinach. Yeah, there are a lot of different things that. A tofu, for example, tempeh. There are a lot of things that are great protein source, and you can build muscles and do whatever you want, what you want to build with that, and it's enough. Most of us anyway, we have a very high protein intake, more than we need. So I think you just have to do your homework and see where you get your protein from. But it's not impossible. I also did that.
And it is not true that your body can use plant protein versus animal protein.
They are as full as other protein sources. So there's amino acids that you need. They are also in plant-based sources. Let's go on. What about the vitamins? Like B12. You're still alive? How? How?
Honestly, certain stuff, doesn't matter what you eat, you should check your levels, and probably you should supplement. Main ones I would say is your B12, your vitamin D3, and your omega-3 probably. Omega-6, So omegas B12 and D3. Especially for women, vitamin D is very important also for our hormone system, so it's really important to get checked and to see that you have enough, and especially if you live in a place where you don't see the sun so often, as it happens right now for us. Vitamin D has a big influence on your mood and your energy levels, so just a little shot of vitamin D and you feel much better, trust me.
Just make sure if you have a high intake that you combine it with vitamin K2, so nothing gets clogged, because it has the tendency to clog your blood vessels and stuff. So make sure you combine it with K2. Most of the times they're already combined.
If it's very high, vitamin D, we recommend. Vitamin B12, I feel like people say, I keep hearing that. Vitamin B12.
You try to make your point. Go on.
I get hungry and I'm very passionate about this topic. Vitamin B12 does not come from animals. It is actually a bacteria that grows in soil, and the problem is that because obviously the pesticides and the stuff that people use to treat the soil, normally you could get it from your vegetables, but now it's much more difficult. So obviously because cows and other animals eat the grass, they get it inside. So theoretically you get a bigger intake of vitamin B12 from meat because the animals eat it, but actually it's not in animals.
We should eat the grass.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the soil. And also for animals with this pesticide that I'm talking about, they don't even have so much anymore. So even as a meat eater, you could be deficient in B12. So
this is very likely.
It's very common, and this is really important thing for the function of your brain. So I would highly recommend to get checked on your levels of vitamin B12, and if you are low, supplement it. Just easy as that. We take our vitamin B12 in the morning, done. And another one that I was mentioning is the omegas. For a while we were taking also a supplement of omega-3, but actually we did some research on some seeds and things that are quite high on it, and now we just did a magic mix, and we have this daily so that we don't have to actually supplement it. So as a vegan, you should supplement some stuff, but actually as a non-vegan, you might most likely also should supplement some things. So same.
Same old.
Same old.
Okay, always hungry. I don't know. I would say no. If you eat a nice combination of grains and protein and have a nice wholesome meal, you don't feel hungry afterwards. And you even stay longer satisfied. Same thing if you eat a toast like white bread or like a whole grain piece of bread, you're gonna stay more satisfied or longer satisfied from the whole grain product. So this is the same here in your nutrition.
Yeah.
So you just have to maybe change around some things, maybe.
I feel like this is also a misconception because we're so used to this feeling of food coma that we were talking about. Like you eat and then you feel like you can't function for 2 hours. That when you feel lighter, you get this as like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm not full, you know?
Yeah,
like,
true.
So it's actually, your body can actually...
I
Was
think
this you?
this was me. I think it's time to eat. Always hungry.
No,
No, I think it was me.
Yes. Yeah. It's not that you're hungry, it's just that you gave your body the time to digest and you are just getting ready to eat again, but you know, you're not hungry.
Yeah, you start, but this is the point where you can start to create a better relationship or mind and gut connection.
Yeah.
That you realize, okay, I'm not like super full, I'm not in a food coma, but I'm satisfied. And that's a good thing that I also had to learn when I switched to a vegan diet. Of course, you can also do it with a non-vegan diet, but for me the trigger was changing to a vegan diet to experience that.
Yeah, which has a lot to do with the topic of someone says, try to go vegan for 2 weeks, but I just feel so weak, like, oh, I just didn't feel good or whatever. Like, I think it's good enough if you give it a go. Good on you for that. But also, it's not fair that you eat this way for 2 weeks or even a month and you expect a miracle to happen, of course. Especially if you've been doing something for, 20, 30, 40 years and all of a sudden you do something for 2 weeks, a month, even 2 months. It's not fair.
Also important because you switch drastically from one nutrition to another and actually you don't know how this new nutrition works yet.
Yeah.
We come to that point later, like what
Yeah.
to use and maybe some tips.
Yeah.
But that's really difficult. You can't do work that you've done in 10 years in a month.
Yeah.
Like to understand what could you eat, what could
Yeah.
you substitute.
Your energy, or you don't put the time to understand how to do things good. And so of course your body is like, what is happening, and you don't feel like always, which is normal. And sometimes just feeling different, you think it's feeling weak. But it's the same thing as with feeling hungry. Maybe it's not you're hungry, it's just you're feeling different. And so that's not fair when people just say, I just tried for 2 weeks but I just couldn't. It was too much for me,
And no, we don't just eat salad, don't we?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's enough for lunch. We don't just eat salad, and vegan nutrition doesn't have to be boring.
Any recipe can be done vegan. I think it's a change of mentality. As a vegan, no, you don't need to stop eating certain things you love. You just have to find the vegan substitute for it. And most of our friends, when they come home and eat our food, they are so happy with it.
Even my dad, he was not a fan of vegetarian or vegan meals, and we got you, Daddy.
Nice, happy
No,
to
you're a
hear
bit
that.
hooked, huh? Be
Yeah.
honest.
And any recipe can be done vegan. And it can be delicious, it can be tasty.
Talking about cooking and some tips and tricks, I think that the secret is that you start changing some ingredients.
And vegan recipes do not have to be difficult or longer than normal recipes. I'm actually well known in the house because I'm a pretty quick chef.
Quick.
20 minutes, any meal can be done in
Any
20
meal.
minutes.
Even a 1 hour lasagna, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Always.
But yeah, I think just like do some research, find recipes, find easy recipes because of course there's difficult recipes in other ones. And play with the ingredients and just add those secret things like try nutritional yeast instead of cheese, for example.
And start easy.
Yeah.
If there's a recipe where like, my god, the half of the ingredients I never heard, then just don't do it.
Exactly.
Like do a different one and maybe you take one of those ingredients that you don't know and do a little research. Just get it and try try it out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And lastly, because you know it's all about it, no trouble. A good dressing can change your life. A salad, Buddha bowl, anything with a good dressing will just change the whole dish. So I would recommend to search for some easy dressings that you can do every day. Tahini is a good ingredient for dressings. Mustard, yeah, mix them around.
Tahini mustard.
Yeah, tahini, mustard, soy sauce,
It's actually a bit of a
syrup.
weird combo, no?
We've done a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a good combo.
Yeah. Maybe one day we can film a 5 dressings that will make your life better.
Yeah, maybe you can let us know if you would like. Would you like to see some sauces here on the channel?
Yeah.
Would you like to see some
To get
dressings?
saucy. Yeah.
I think we're just gonna link some recommendations for books and videos and stuff where you can get some information in the video, or maybe even here in the video, so you can see and get some material if you're interested in that topic.
Yeah. This is of course a very us-based or like our health benefits video, like when we talk about how we feel, but of course veganism has other aspects that are really good and that we really appreciate. Of course, the environmental side of it and the fact that animals are not being killed, and not even that, like the way that the farm industry works is something that we are not don't agree with and we don't want to support. So of course there's a lot of other sides that the moral sides of it that we are also you know, we have to talk about. But this video was just like a bit more egocentric in a way, like just talking about how we feel and how our bodies feel. And yeah, if you're thinking to give it a go, if you're thinking of trying to go vegan, just keep in mind that your body needs 6 to 8 weeks to just start adapting to a new diet to feel normal. So, you know, just give yourself some time. Obviously, every person is different, everybody reacts differently, and just make sure that you are balancing your meals. So, if you would like to know a bit more about the topic, perhaps we can take you with us on a grocery shopping day.
A little Shopee tour.
And a little shopping. Or maybe some recipes that we do often, easy recipes or more fancy recipes to impress. Let us know, we're happy to share.
Actually, we also always share some recipes on Instagram.
Yeah.
We do some stuff. So we are Monazi, Instagram, more commonly.
Yeah.
We share some recipes there.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. So yeah, 10 years after, we're still alive, we're still thriving.
Mostly.
And you know, we're still building muscle.
Careful. Do you have a license for this?
So see you guys in the next video.
Thumbs up if you like the video.
Subscribe.
Please. No, I don't want to see that. Yeah, exactly. This one, and subscribe to the channel. So see you for the next video. Another video today. How do we call this video? We don't even have a title yet. Maybe we should have a title at least.
What happened?
10 years vegan, still alive.